you know? The increasing of global waste generated is accelerating the destruction of the earth. What can we do to help the land under our feet, the ocean in front of us, and our next generation? How can we turn this waste in front of us into treasure? Many small and medium enterprises in Taiwan decided to go green, creating green products and lead to the new road of circular economy and sustainability. Moreover, the green miracle is actually in our daily lives. When it comes to the food containers that we use every day, GreenPad has created a PET material for environmentally friendly tableware. After the PET material reached the crystallization temperature, the construction will be completed and very strong. It can be drop-proof and high temperature resistant, replacing the melamine tableware that we are doubting. It can be toxic-free, energy-saving, low carbon emission, and reduce waste of resources and be able to recycle. Besides, Good Life Design has made an environmentally friendly ceramic boutique with the philosophy of green and sustainable. Good Life Design insists that each tableware should be handmade. Turn remaining marble and stone into environmental friendly stone ceramic material, giving rebirth of the marble waste stone powder in Hualien and make it into quality goods made in Taiwan. For clothing accessories, EcoMax Textile has created the recycled products of waste fishing nets. After successfully challenged the recycling and drawing of the PET bottles, and turned them into towels, socks, clothes, and other products, EcoMax targeted a large discarded fishing nets. They get on with the R&D and manufacture of waste fishing nets recycled fiber. Only after a long and complicated decontamination and desalination process can the discarded fishing nets enter the production line. In order to produce fine fibers, EcoMax altered the machine and created a very small mesh for yarn making. Hope to provide quality clothing and help to solve the serious marine environmental pollution problem. ProBlue International Corporation protects the environment of the ocean with its action. They converted the collected marine plastic waste into raw materials through technical operation and made into unique green products by the designers. Marine plastic waste could be turned into clothes, bags, and sunglasses, which give them a brand new life. In terms of home storage, China has been moving toward a green and sustainable direction. It has developed the technology of biomass material and strive to protect mountains and forests. In order to invest in the recycled materials, Charter sets up a material research and development unit. They invest wood flour, corn flour, bamboo flour into mixing PLA and heat-resistant CPLA for mass production and storage products. In the future, Charter plans to invest in research for the materials of shrimp and crab shells, local agricultural waste such as corn, pineapple shells, and white bamboo shoots. Hope to develop a brand new material. In terms of edutainment, Pulley Paper has created its environmentally friendly paper products. They developed a unique paper-making technology that mixed the farmer's rice husk with the paper pulp to make a storytelling material. In order to present the diversity of the paper products, Pulley Paper also incorporates with the white bamboo shoots fiber, banana leaves, and forage into the paper pulp, which not only gives customers choices, but also brought the usage of the crop resources waste to the forefront. When manufactured pen adheres to the trend of environmental protection and sustainable development, conveys the new value of the 60 years old brand through the creating of sustainable stationery. They introduced the styrofoam and waste plastic PET bottles collected from seaside into the stationery, convert them into the new pen body. When manufactured pen also uses recycled paper pulp in the design of packaging cartons. From pen to the packaging, when manufactured pen shows the green and sustainable competitiveness of the brand. The SMEs in Taiwan continue to innovate their green thinking to alleviate waste and pollution problems. At the same time, it also pursues the environmental protection concept by reaching low carbon emission. Hope to connect the awareness of different industries and consumers. We are all part of the earth. Implement the concept of circular economy and sustainable innovation into our lives. Strive to the win-win results of the economy, environmental protection, and society. Taiwan will be seen by the world.
Hello, welcome to the International Circular Economy Trend and Business Strategy Seminar. The event will be starting in 5 minutes, and please be reminded, recording is prohibited, and we will share the data we use today after you've done the survey, after the event. 那欢迎各位来到我们今天的循环经济国际趋势及品牌策略线上研讨会。那我们的活动将在5分钟后准时开始。那请各位留意，录影跟录音是禁止的，我们尊重一下我们的版权跟智慧财产权。那我们会在会后完成问卷的时候，提供这个活动回顾的记录给大家。好，谢谢各位，那请再稍待。
说没听到正确的声音。
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the International Circular Economy Trends and Business Strategy Seminar. My name is Damon Tai. I'm from PIDC, Plastic Industry Development Center, and welcome to join this event. 那各位早安与晚安我们的活动循环经济国际论坛以及品牌策略研讨会即将正式展开。那欢迎各位来到这个会议上面来跟大家一起讨论跟分享。那 In the beginning, on behalf of the organizing administrative, the Small and Medium Enterprise Administration from Ministry of Economic Affairs, I would like to show the gratitude for everyone to join this event. And the implementing organization is PIDC, which is my company. And I would like to welcome all the participants to join this discussion. 那首先，仅代表我们的主办单位经济部中小企业处以及我们的执行单位财团法人塑胶中心欢迎大家参与这个论坛的活动。Okay, the webinar today we have invited Rail, IKEA, and Decathlon, the well-known enterprises, to talk about the circular economy trends and their business strategy. And also, we have invited a professional scholar, which is Professor Guo from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, to talk about the theoretical issues of circular economy and also the impact and the advantages of Taiwanese SMEs during this trend. 那我们今天的活动有邀请到 Rail 这家公司，还有 IKEA、迪卡侬等等这些产业的龙头来一起探讨循环经济的趋势在企业的执行永续方面的一些影响。那同时也邀请到我们在地的学者，我们的台湾科技大学工业管理系的郭教授，来从理论面去探讨这个循环经济，以及台湾的中小企业在循环经济这个趋势潮流里面的一些困境，还有可以发展的一些优势。So, in this event, every speaker, they have 15 minutes speech, pre-recorded and with English pronunciation, and also Chinese subtitle. 那在这个活动里面的讲者，我们每位讲者都有15分钟的一个短讲。那这个短讲是采影片预录的方式，那会由英文发音加上中文字幕。If you have any question, you can leave your message on the Q&A space through the Webex software. 那如果对于我们的讲者有任何的提问，我们都可以在问答区去留言，我们会有小编在现场协助各位整理这些资料，在最后的讨论当中。And after the speeches, we will have a 10 minutes break and they get back to the scene, to the studio here. We will have our speakers online or on site and doing the real-time discussion with everyone. 那在4个讲者都完成他们的短讲之后，我们有10分钟的休息时间。那在这之后，我们就现场跟线上讲者都会跟我们一起，同样在这个场子当中来一起做讨论研讨。And the discussion will be starting on 11:20 a.m. Taipei times. 那综合讨论时间会在11点20分的时候，台湾台北的时间准时开始。And first of all, I would like to invite the representative from the organizing administrative, which is the SMEA from Ministry of Economic Affairs, the Director General He Jingchang, to give us a opening remark. 那在活动的一开始，我们要邀请到主办单位我们的经济部中小企业处的何金昌何处长来帮我们做一个开场欢迎词。
Barreno 创办人 Ben Knapers，IKEA 企业永续经理汪经理 迪卡侬永续发展负责人 Thomas Walk 与台湾科技大学郭教授，以及各位线上与会嘉宾，大家好。今天很高兴透过线上会议的形式，邀请各国中小企业主代表与供应链业者共同谈论循环经济理念，分享并了解国际知名品牌因应循环经济所发展出的营运策略与愿景。长久以来，主流的经济发展建立在线性经济的模式，资源从开采、制造、使用到废弃，呈现从摇篮一路到坟墓的线性流动，导致许多资源仅使用一次即失去其效用与价值。而今线性经济走至尽头，各国均投入力量加速循环经济的体现。2015年时，联合国提出17项 SDGs 永续发展目标，呼吁全球政府、企业在追求经济成长的同时，也需兼顾环境保护及社会进步。我国也在2018年12月时通过循环经济推动方案，将永续发展及循环经济作为台湾产业转型的重要基础，期望透过再利用等方式延长能源与资源的生命周期，并将循环经济理念及永续创新的思维融入各项活动中，在创造经济成长的同时，达到环境保护之双赢，进而与国际接轨。统计数据显示，2018年台湾中小企业共约147万家，占全国总企业家数的97.64%。我国中小企业又以代工制造见长，如何透过循环经济转型，创造下一波的经济发展契机？除了政府努力推动外，更需了解并符合国际品牌的策略方向与需求，方能真正取得合作的金钥，并开启新商机。循环经济已经是国际间的热门议题，无论是国家或企业，很好交流活动中有所启发，且能从中获益，并转化为行动能量，以循环思维因应国际趋势发展企业及品牌，接轨绿色新商机。
Okay, welcome back to the International Seminar of Circular Economy Trend and Business Strategy. 欢迎回到我们的循环经济趋势与策略研讨会。We have to thank the organizer, the SMEA, to give us this opportunity for everyone to gather together and to talk about the big impact of the circular economy trend. 首先我们也要感谢中小企业处给予我们这个机会然后有这样子的一个活动，让大家齐聚在这里去探讨这个对世界环境影响很大的循环经济的趋势。And the first speaker today is Ben Clampers. 我们今天第一个讲者是来自于 Brill 的 Ben Clampers. And Brill is a company has established over 7 years, and they are the pioneer of recycling waste fishing nets and regenerate to raw material and use their unique design to make ocean waste products. Brill 这家公司它是一个在海废再利用产品界的一个先驱，他们很早之前就回收这个废渔网，然后把它做成原料，之后再运用独特的设计，把它生产为他们的产品。The Brill, they have a business over California, United States, Chile, and through Argentina of South America. 那 Brill 的公司，它的事业版图已经横跨到美国的加州，然后中南美的智利、秘鲁、阿根廷等国家。那他们的创业，从循环经济的创业发想到执行过程，到现在的成果，其实都值得台湾的中小企业 去学习，做一个模仿的标杆的典范。So from their establishment, from the concept of circular economy and the implementation, the process, until the achievement they have right now, they are a very good role model for Taiwanese SMEs to develop their brand name in this business world. So that's welcome Ben Clampers for sharing their ocean fishing nets recycling business. 那我们欢迎 Ben 的分享。
Hi, everyone. First off, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you all today. I hope this finds you all well and safe during this complicated time. My name is Ben Kneffers. I'm one of the co-founders of a company called Borreo. We are a benefits corporation focused on creating net positive solutions to the global problem of discarded fishing gear. We have been operating for over 7 years across Chile, Argentina, Peru, and California, where we work together with fisheries to provide a positive solution for their end-of-life fishing gear. Today, I'm just going to give you a brief summary of how we got started as three friends connected on this issue and where we are at today, which has been coming pretty far away. Really what this started off back in 2012 was connecting with two good friends of mine, David Stover and Kevin Ahern. We all had undergraduates in mechanical engineering. We were 5+ years into each of our careers, David in finance, Kevin in engineering design, and myself in sustainability consulting. Connecting on our passion for the ocean environment and thinking maybe there could be an opportunity for us to harness this passion and combine it with our skill sets in finance, engineering design, and sustainability and do something to improve it. And the problem that we kept witnessing firsthand that was plaguing this environment we love so much was this problem of plastic pollution. The numbers are quite staggering. Globally, we're looking at over 8 million tons a year of plastic pollutions entering our ocean. That's, if you can imagine visualizing this, it's one truckload that's just backing into the ocean and dumping plastic in every minute of every day. So it is a really, really staggering number to look at. And what we thought of early on was, what if we could flip this on its head and instead of looking at it as such a huge problem, look at it as an opportunity. And that's where we started to look deeper into the issue, make sense of it, see what could be done about it. And that's when we started to identify some low-hanging fruit. It's something that we really recognize as the real tangible things that could actually get us started doing something good about this problem. And the three things that we found that really could be done were, one, education. So this is really, a lot of people don't understand this issue and how serious it is. Plastic pollution replaced a lot of previously reusable or biodegradable resources that were used, and especially in the case of coastal communities. And they didn't get to explain to them as well, as although plastics can be helpful because they are lightweight, durable, cheap. If you discard them in the marine environment, they can last hundreds of years. And so there's a huge consequence people don't really recognize. The second issue is infrastructure. On one hand, you've got over 80% of the plastic in the ocean is coming from land-based sources. And so quite simply, not having a place to put this plastic when it meets its end of life properly is a big reason why much of it ends up in the ocean environment. Another bigger point here is what we're talking about today, which is circular economy. So many products made from plastic do not have end-of-life solutions designed into them. And that's really what circular economy is all about, and that's what we need to get to if we really want to overcome this issue. There's lots of benefits in using plastic instead of other materials as an alternative, because they're, again, lightweight, durable, they can last a long time. But if you're taking something like a plastic water bottle, using it for a matter of minutes, albeit hours at best, and then discarding it, that bottle that you've just occupied for a few hours of time is now going to last over 200 years, quite possibly, in the marine environment. And so the trade-off is just not there. People don't understand it, and we need to start designing solutions for it. And then the third one is a deeper one, which is behavior change. When people connect something with value, they take care. You're not going to throw a dollar bill on the ground. You're not going to throw $100 on the ground. It doesn't make any sense. So if we can start to connect the materials that we perceive as waste to value, there's going to be no interest in them trying to discard it. So on those points, we looked into this problem of plastic pollution, understood the three of us couldn't take it on at all, and instead said, let's do something tangible. And that's where we came into working on discarded fishing nets. Discarded fishing nets are recognized as the most harmful form of plastic pollution for entanglement and entrapment of marine life. It's actually 4 times more harmful than all other forms of plastic pollution combined. If you can imagine a nylon fishing net, if it gets left out at sea, it can last over 600 years in the marine environment before it gets a chance to break down. So by dealing with this, we found it to be a great opportunity as something tangible and something really vulnerable from ending up in the ocean and doing some real damage. So in 2013, with support from the Chilean government, we launched what's now known as Net Positiva, which is Chile's first ever discarded fishing net collection and recycling program, where we came up with the crazy idea to actually make the first ever plastic cruiser skateboard from recycled fishing nets. And you might ask, why did we land on a skateboard? Well, there's actually a lot of benefits in landing on a skateboard. One, it's a positive product. So the education opportunity was there. We could now show a really positive, attention-drawing solution to this material by showing this being made into a great product that especially the future generation can enjoy and be inspired by. 2, it's a great example of upcycling. So there's really 3 types of recycling. You've got downcycling, where you take a plastic and now, let's say a water bottle that was worth $1 a bottle is now downcycled into a brick that's now worth less than $1 a bottle, say 20 cents a bottle. If you do recycling, it's taking a bottle and making it into a bottle, but upcycling is where you're taking that bottle, now making it into something made a much higher value. In the case of a skateboard deck, we can now take 1 kilo of end-of-life fishing nets and transform it into a skateboard deck that can now be sold for over $100. And so that was a real opportunity to show upcycling. And with that, we went after this crazy idea. We launched the program. We got our first source of fishing nets through our partnership. We work directly with the fishermen right when the nets meet their end of life, before it enters the ocean environment. We take action, do something about it, and transform into a raw material source that we can then make into these skateboards. And it got us off the ground. We started working as a small business between Chile and California. California being where we sold the boards, Chile being where we worked with the fishermen. And we slowly started to get some momentum. What happened, though, that was interesting is, as much as we were working slowly as a small business, getting a few tons of fishing nets a year to make and sell these skateboards, we were starting to realize that the traction was actually more at that point with the fishing communities. When people found out in Chile that we had this really positive solution for the nets, they started to really take pride in it. And when they got to see the boards and actually see that this was their material that was once a pollution, a burden for them, is now into these positive skateboards, it really started to click for them as an opportunity to do a lot more. And quickly what we ran into was a problem A good kind of problem, I suppose, was that we were getting access to far more fishing nets that we needed just to make our plastics cruiser skateboards. And so quickly realized that this needs to be about much more than a skateboard company and be much more about a collection and recycling program. And so that's where we're at today. So what we've gone to grow and develop into is, instead of focusing on making and distributing our own products, is we've aligned with companies that already share the mission, the values that we have as our business that's trying to do better for the environment and communities. Is identify with the businesses that are already having those values, but having the product lines, having the distribution, having the sales channels ready that can now replace their virgin plastics for our recycled fishnet material. And that's where we're at today, is we have partnerships with over 7 companies. These range from doing sunglasses, skateboard decks, surfboard fins, office chairs, mountain bike accessories, and even board games. And with our biggest partnership to date being with the outdoor apparel brand Patagonia. What this is leading us to do is now, instead of having to collect the nets, recycle the nets, develop the product, make the product, sell the product, market the product, distribute the product, we can now just focus on the first part, which we're getting really good at, which is knowing how to get the community set up to correctly collect these nets, knowing how to set up the supply chain to sort, clean, pack these nets, knowing how to effectively recycle these nets into a raw material that is now comparable to what people would use for virgin plastic. And instead of virgin plastic, we have a fully traceable 100% recycled fishing net that's 100% post-consumer material. And so with that story, with that connection, we're getting great traction for our material. And what we're hoping now is provide the solution to as many fisheries globally as we can provide. We started in Chile, we've expanded to Argentina and Peru already, and we still have plenty of work in Latin America, but we know that this is a global problem. So we're really hopeful to take this soon is internationally. We want to get to across all of the Americas, not just South America, but also Central and Northern America, but then look to our partners in Asia, look to our partners in Europe and Africa, and see how not only making this business for us, but business for the local communities. And so that this can be something where we can give them, just like we talked about in the beginning of this, the infrastructure, the education, the training, and now the behavior change by seeing that there's value in this material. That's what we're working on now. That's our bigger vision, and all of that being done in a circular economy model. So although we are already upcycling the material into these higher value products from this end-of-life fishing gear, all of our products are designed to have an end-of-life solution from the start. So if any of the products, the skateboards, the sunglasses, the surf fins, the hat brims, come and meet their end of life, we can take them back and recycle them again. And that's really what circular economy is all about. That's what we strongly believe in as an organization in this space. We're not going to solve this on our own. We all need to be together, and there's absolutely no reason. I know there is reasons financially and logistically and even technically that you have to have a certain plastic doing certain things in products, but enough is enough. We need to have a circular economy if we truly want to overcome this issue. We need to have everything now no longer becoming a waste. Everything is an opportunity. It's a financial stream. It's an opportunity for all of us to clean up the earth and have a really sound and efficient supply chain for the plastics that we have no choice but to use. And for the rest, let's keep working on it. Let's keep going, and that's what this is all about. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I'll keep it open for questions. Hope to hear from you all, and thanks again for the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome back to the International Circular Economy Trend and Business Strategy Seminar. 欢迎各位回到我们的循环经济国际策略品牌策略研讨会。And it's hard to imagine that Rail using the simple circular economy concept and turning into this successful story. 那其实很难相信 Rail 这个公司仅用循环经济这样子的一个概念发起，然后就达到这样子的一个今天这样子的一个成就。And please note there's a system boundary, system issue. 系统上有切换，其实有一些问题，大家可能要了解一下。There's a 5 seconds delay or lag switch between video and our studio. So please remind this, and that is normal because of the system issue. 因为那个软体技术上的问题，我们在影片切换到我们现场，或是现场切换到影片的时候，可能会有一个5秒左右的一个延迟，所以这个是正常的现象，这也是系统的一个限制，所以要请大家跟见谅，不是网络有问题。So please stay in good, well internet connection, and we will invite our next speaker, Linda Wang. She's Sustainable Manager from IKEA North Asia. 那紧接着我们会邀请到第二位讲者是 IKEA 的永续经理 Linda。那她是目前在 IKEA 的北亚区，是定义的北亚区，在台湾、香港跟澳门的管理者。And we all know IKEA is a very big brand name company for furniture products and also the sales channel. And they have a group strategy called People and Planet Positive. So in this section, Linda will bring us their group strategy and show us how and why they are doing this. 那我们都认识 IKEA， 它是属于家居品牌跟通路的一个非常大的一个品牌。那接下来的 Linda 会为我们带来 IKEA 集团在这个永续发展上的一个集团策略，就是对于人类、对于环境永续友善的一个观念。那next please play the videos from Linda。那我们接着就看一下 Linda 为我们带来的单价。
Hi everyone, I'm Linda, the Sustainability Manager for IKEA Taiwan, Hong Kong and Macau. It's very lovely to share with you today via video. It's quite an innovative way to share the sustainability strategy with you, and given that we are in a very difficult time. So today I want to spend a little time with you to share our vision and our local actions in Taiwan. Firstly, I want to mention that IKEA is formed by many companies around the globe. And today we have business in more than 50 markets, and we hire a quarter of million persons around the globe. We have been in Taiwan for more than 25 years. But from the sourcing point of view, we have been here for more than 45 years. So for Taiwan, IKEA is really feel like home here. And we really appreciate everyone's effort in making this land a better life for the many people. So our vision of IKEA is to make a difference and to create a better everyday life for the many people. And we have defined our direction in next 5 years. That is, firstly, we want to be more affordable. And we want our products get access to their homes in a more value for money point of view. And secondly, we want our store to be more accessible to the many people. We want to enable more customers to enjoy our range and to create a better everyday life at their homes. And lastly, we want to develop our business to be a very sustainable business, given that we have a huge scope and we have more than 1 billion people come to our business every day. So that's our direction for the 5 years. And I want to explain more about how we develop our strategy. So being climate positive is one of our most ambitious goals before 2030. What does that mean? Being climate positive meaning that we have to reduce more greenhouse gas emissions than we emit along our value chain. And we will develop our every product according to our circular product design. And I will explain more about this. So it's quite go hand in hand to develop our business into a 100% circular business. Why? From this slide, you can see the majority of the carbon footprint comes from our raw material usage. That stands for more than 40% of all of our total climate footprint. And we are a huge consumption of raw material. So that's why we want to do something about it. And going for transforming a circular business will be a key to that problem. Based on Ellen MacArthur's Foundation's data, based on the linear economy, there are 80% of material goes waste in this kind of business model. So in the future, IKEA is going to adapt the 4 loops and transforming our business into a circular business by designing all the products based on the circular design principle, and all the products is designed for reuse, repaired, refurbished, remanufactured, and recycled. And we want to minimize the amount of waste as we can. So this slide shows what our commitment for transforming a 100% circular business. Firstly, all the material we use for product will be renewable and recycled. So far, we have already adapt 60% of our range based on the renewable material, and 10% of our products are made from recycled material. And moving forward, they will be going to 100% of material is based on renewable and recycled material. And moving forward, we're going to adapt a new business model that will change customers' behavior of how they acquire or pass on or deal with the waste from their home. And mostly, I want to mention that along the journey, we need collaboration and partnership from all partners and from all markets. So that's why I'm here and calling for the collaboration with you guys. Here are some examples of our circular products. Firstly, is the reusable plastic bags. That's a hot product in our stores. That's called Istad. It's made by sugarcane, so it's a plant-based plastic material, and the supplier is Taiwan supplier. So it's another hero product from Taiwan. And this beautiful blind is made by 6 recycled PET bottle, and it's perfect for you at home. That will to block the heat, and therefore you will reduce your energy consumption. And this famous bag, blue shopping bag, probably the most hardworking bag in the world. So in the future, some of the material will come from Taiwan, and it's made by reused PP bubble tea cups. So in the future, when you are enjoying the bubble tea, you will see, or you can imagine, this material will be used for the future blue bag. And also it's made from Taiwan. And next, I want to mention a very interesting, exciting new business model that we are testing in Taiwan. So when we are talking about business in terms of circularity, product as service will be always the first and most exciting step that we are not trying in Taiwan. So in Taiwan, we have collaborated with Taipei 101 to have our very first product service business model test in their building, 35th floor. In the future, we are going to adapt more circular business in Taiwan, including how we refurbished the used furniture from our customers, or we will repair your lovely products, because we know our customers don't want to be wasteful, and we want to do something about that. An equally exciting taste in Taiwan is that we are going to establish the refurbishment center. Based on the refurbishment center's capability, we are going to able to refurbish all the used furniture from our clients and customers. That means that we can really prolong the product life of our products. So the slide shows the test in Poland. So you can see we successfully transform a used furniture into a brand new furniture. In Taiwan, we are going to test how customers are going to face these kind of used furniture. And we hope that customers can share the same vision and same passion with us, that is prolonging every product's life. For IKEA, homes and how people live means a lot for us because we believe that will shape and create impact on the health and well-being and the planet. So we also know that people want to become more healthy and sustainable at their home. They want to cut their carbon footprint and they want to become more sufficient and they want to reduce their waste. So that's why IKEA has already developed a variety of range that will cope that needs. Here are some examples. This little gadget will help you to reduce 90% of water consumption. And here I want to introduce a very brand new product called Gongrid. IKEA knows that 9 out of 10 persons in the world face the air pollution every day, especially at their homes. So we developed a new curtain called Gongrid. That has a very special coatings on the fabric and they will absorb the air pollutants indoor at your homes. So simply adapting a new curtain will help you to live more sustainable and healthy life. Let's not forget about the food. IKEA is one of the major food retailers around the globe, and I believe you love our meatballs. But in the future, we have a new plant-based. It's a plant-based food. It's made by apple, peas, and have a very healthy proteins that will cover your nutrition needs every day. So in Taiwan, maybe at the end of 2020, we'll have a brand new plant bowl. And the good things about this is only 4% of the carbon footprint compared to our traditional meatball. So let's try it when it comes to Taiwan market. Lastly, but certainly not least, I'm here call for more partnership and collaboration and co-creation with you guys. I know you have a very brand new technology or brand new solution for your products. So if you want, you can contact me. We can collaborate with more initiatives and help this land to be more sustainable. Like our founder said, many things remain to be done. And we truly believe that based on collaboration and partnership, we can really reach a future with the glorious one. Thank you for your time. And thank you for PIDC. I'm very honored to be here and I'm looking forward to your contact.
Okay, welcome back to the International Circular Economy Change and Business Strategy Seminar. 欢迎各位再度回到我们的全球经济国际趋势及品牌策略研讨会。We are very grateful for Linda to supporting this event and bring us an idea of IKEA's People and Planet Positive. 那我们很感谢 IKEA 的永续经理 Linda 为我们带来这个 IKEA 的永续策略。And third speaker, we have invited French sporting goods giant Decathlon, Taiwan. We have Thomas Walk, the Sustainable Development in Production Leader. 第3位讲者我们邀请到这个法商这个体育用品界的一个巨头，这是我们的迪卡侬台湾的 Thomas 来跟我们讲述一下迪卡侬在永续发展方面的一些要求，以及他们在 供应链上有没有什么特别的期待 ？So Thomas will talk about the sustainable development in Decathlon, and also he will share the expectations or from the perspective of view from the purchasing and sustainable development, and share their idea to everyone. 那接下来我们就欢迎 Thomas 迪卡侬的永续发展负责人来带来这个10分钟的专讲。Let's play the video from Thomas.
Hello, I'm Thomas Wok from Decathlon Taiwan. I've been working in Decathlon Taiwan for about 2 years, but I've been in Taiwan for a lot longer than that. I've been here for about 23 years. At Decathlon Taiwan, I'm in charge of sustainable development, especially in the production of our products that we sell all over the world. In Taiwan, there's around 50 to 60 factories that work for Decathlon that produce product which we sell everywhere. We sell it in Europe, we sell it in China, we sell it locally here in Taiwan. We export to the world. Decathlon is a company that is basically does everything from the beginning of a product's life to the end of a product's life. What I mean by that is we design products, we build our products, we find factories that we work with as partners to make our products. Then we ourselves ship our products. We use our own warehouses to bring those products to our own stores, which we have all over the world. The products that we use and we sell are our own brands. So basically from the very beginning to the very end of a product, everything is incorporated in our business plan. We're present in over 50 countries worldwide. We have 2,000 stores, over 2,000 stores worldwide. And don't forget that Decathlon started in Europe, but it has become a worldwide brand. As the Sustainable Development Leader for production in Taiwan, I am in charge of implementing 3 main strategies, or 3 main pillars we like to call them. And these pillars cover all of our sustainable strategies for the next 6 years in Taiwan. These strategies are worldwide strategies, but for Decathlon Taiwan, I am implementing them locally. So the 3 pillars I mentioned are, first pillar is developing people. Everything related to people. People are very important to Decathlon, because without people we have no market. Without people we have no products, no reason to bring our products to market. Without people we cannot build our products. Without people we cannot sell our products. And the second pillar that we cover is nature. Nature, again, is of complete utmost importance to Decathlon, because without preserving nature, then we have no playing field. There's nowhere for people to use our products if there's no nature left for them to use them in. What I mean by that is, for example, in Decathlon we have many, many products. One example would be kayaks, boats. Imagine a world where all of our rivers were polluted. So we spend a lot of time to make sure that we do our best so that we're not polluting our rivers, because we need to preserve our playing field. Another very important pillar in the sustainable strategy is creating sustainable value. What I mean by creating sustainable value is that we strive to spread our sustainable values beyond just ourselves. We don't want to just do this job ourselves and nobody else does it, because we realize we can't do it ourselves. We need everybody that we work with to be on the same, to be developing the same strategy, a similar strategy to develop people, to develop the nature, and to develop these values. So what I'll do now is I'll go a little bit more in depth to some of these strategies. For example, with developing people. So for developing people, we work with a grid in our factory systems, like the factories that work for Decathlon. What this grid is called, we call it the HRP grid. It's a human rights and production grid. And it's it has 12 chapters that cover everything from forced labor to child labor to accountability to fire safety, chemical safety, chemical management, freedom of association. Those are just some of the examples. But inside this grid, What we do is we have a playing field where every factory that works with us as a direct factory, mostly rank 1 factories. What I mean by rank 1 are the factories where we have a direct business relationship. We go to those factories and we take this grid with us and we check the factory once every, if it's a country like in Taiwan, we do it once every 2 years. We go to the factory and we check everything that's on the grid according to legal requirements and then also according to our own decathlon requirements. One example, we check for use of carcinogenic chemicals. If there are factories using carcinogenic chemicals, and what I mean carcinogenic is cancer-causing chemicals, we check to make sure that they are using them properly, that they are following the standard operating procedures for using these chemicals. For example, using the correct masks or the correct goggles or the correct gloves when they're using them on the production line. And not just in an ideal situation, we go onto the production line to see how the workers themselves are using them on a day-to-day basis, because it's important that we make sure that people do not inadvertently poison themselves with these chemicals. That's just one example. Another example would be fire safety. Inside many factories, there's a high fire risk. So we go to the factories to make sure that to the best of their ability, they are minimizing the fire risk. For example, they have working fire alarms. The fire alarm sound is different from the sound of all the other machines' alarms. They have a backup battery for their alarm system. That everybody in the factory can leave the factory within a certain amount of time, and there's a gathering place, a standard operating procedure for fire. But then that's just the main criteria. In the chapters, we separate these questions into unacceptable things. For example, issues that we might find at a factory where we cannot accept it, and if we do, then we will either give the factory just the day of the audit to or the assessment to solve this problem. And if they cannot solve this problem within a day, then we will stop all business with this factory. And by stop business, I mean we will stop payments, we will stop shipments of our products until they fix this problem. An example of a human rights related unacceptable problem would be, for example, confiscating the passports of migrant workers. Which is what I mean by migrant workers are people who come from another country. Like, for example, if you have some workers from Vietnam working at a factory in Taiwan, those are migrant workers. Those workers might come here and they have their passports with them to come here, and there might, it doesn't often happen anymore. It was something that happened more often in the past in Taiwan, but they might have some factories that would take their passports and hold the passports in an office. We consider that instance of forced labor, and so we will ask them to return the passports. If they do not, then we will stop business with the factory. But then that's unacceptable findings. Another finding, a level up, would be what we call D level. It's something that we don't like, we want to fix, but we realize that it might take time for a factory to fix it. So we give them about a year to solve this problem. One example of this might be, say, for example, smoke-proof doors in a stairwell in the factory. If a factory does not have smoke-proof doors to protect a stairwell from smoke during a fire emergency, then we might give a factory about a year to place those doors. And that's kind of the general scope of an assessment. Every finding we do on an assessment like this, we have a follow-up corrective action plan and a schedule of when it needs to be finished for us to move on to what we call C level, which is it's our minimum standard, which focuses more on management techniques of a factory. So this is the human rights assessment. The other assessment we have that we do for sustainable development is called Greenway. It's an environmental assessment. And the environmental assessment focuses on factories that discharge over 50,000 cubic liters of water per day. These are large factories, heavy chemical users, and and large emitters of maybe air, we could say air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. Those are the three main chapters that we focus on this. And inside the Greenway assessment, we check against legal requirements in a country to make sure that the factories are meeting minimum legal requirements, but then we also as well have some of our own requirements that we check against as well. And these could be, for example, that certain chemicals are not present in discharge water, that soil, that polluted soil is basically dealt with properly. And that air pollution is not above acceptable limits. This is our day-to-day operation. We follow the same schedule every 2 years. On a day-to-day operation where we have people that work for Decathlon called quality production leaders, and they go day-to-day to these factories to check on human rights, to check on environment, at the factory, and then they are the ones who meet with me or meet with a third-party company to enact these assessments. Okay, so besides the assessments that we perform in Decathlon, we also have some goals, some specific strategy goals. One of those goals, which you might have heard of, is called SBT, or Science-Based Target. And this is related to CO2, carbon dioxide emissions, and our desire to reduce carbon dioxide emissions worldwide to fight climate change. And the Decathlon ourselves, we have set our own SPT, which is a goal to reduce emissions, but we are also encouraging all of our main suppliers, our partner factories and our key account suppliers, to set their own SPT, their own science-based target goals to reduce CO2 emissions. And our goal is that 90% of our partner suppliers will have their own science-based targets set by 2026. And so we are working hand in hand with them to encourage them and to help them get to that target. One of the key elements after they set their science-based targets to reduce CO2 emissions, of course, will become renewable energy. So we are also encouraging our partners to use renewable energy. We, Decathlon, have already signed the commitment called RE100, which is that we commit to using 100% renewable energy by 2026. And we are encouraging all of our partner factories to do the same. We set another goal that 100% of our partner factories will use renewable energy by the same time, by 2026. So along with using renewable energy in our factories, or getting our factories to use renewable energy, we're also encouraging our factories who are still using coal-fired boilers or any coal in their production to produce energy to remove coal from their production lines and replace it with something that's cleaner, that has a lower CO2 impact on the world. So part of that commitment is by 2025, we commit to having zero of our partner factories, zero of our key account suppliers using coal. This is a firm commitment. We are working with factories to remove coal, and we hope to get there in the next 5 years. Another one of our commitments is to reduce our reliance on air shipment. Air shipment is a big emitter of carbon dioxides in the high atmosphere, and it's much less efficient in terms of carbon dioxide than sea shipment. However, of course, sea shipment is slower, air shipment is faster, and so quite often we reach a situation where we're in a hurry to get products to our markets. And when we want to get things to our markets fast, there's a temptation to use air shipment. However, we've realized that one, this is expensive, and two, this is a very big carbon dioxide emitter. And so we commit to under 1% of our products to use air shipment by 2025. Now I'll speak for a moment about our third pillar. In our third pillar, we focus on eco-design and circular economy. And one of the hallmarks of eco-design is that we want to design our products from the bottom up to use more ecological materials and also to be recyclable in the end. So we're focusing not only on the beginning of the product, but the end of the product. We want to make sure that these products, we want to encourage that these products don't just go from the store to people's houses and then maybe when they get rid of them to the trash and then a landfill. What we would rather have is that products can be recycled, they can be reused, maybe they're more sturdy products, more durable products, so customers or our users can continue to use these products over the long run. We are aiming to have all of our products eco-designed in such a way by the year 2026, which is a big task. We have to replace thousands and thousands of products to do this, but we're up to the challenge of this, and our engineers in France and worldwide are working furiously to reach this goal. Well, that was just a very basic introduction to some of our strategies which are ongoing and some of our commitments for the year 2026. We have a lot more strategies, a lot more commitments along these three pillars, and these are just a few of them.
Okay, welcome back to the International Circular Economy Trend and Business Strategy Seminar. 那欢迎各位回到我们的循环经济趋势与品牌策略研讨会。And thank you for Thomas to bring us the Decathlon's 2026 commitment and the three pillars of their sustainable development strategies. And I met Thomas for a couple of times. And he actually speaks very good Chinese. 那我们感谢 Thomas 带来这个2026年迪卡侬的承诺，企业承诺，还有他们的3大支柱的企业策略。那其实我遇过 Thomas 几次了，他其实中文讲得非常的好。And our last speaker is Dr. 蔡吉郭。我们的最后一位讲者是我们的郭台吉博士。Dr. Guo, he's a professor from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. 那郭教授他是国立台湾科技大学的教授 and he dedicated himself in the field of environmental protection and industrial development for a long time. 那郭教授在环境保护跟工业发展的议题上也琢磨了非常的多年。He will bring us the theoretical view of circular economy and sustainable development, and also to talk about the conditions of Taiwanese SMEs and also their advantage in this time. 那郭教授会为我们讲述这个永续发展和循环经济的理论基础，那再来引导到我们台湾的中小型企业在这一个潮流之下的一个现状、困境，还有未来的一个发展的优势。And let's play the video from Dr. Guo. 那我们来看一下郭教授的影片。
Hello, everyone. Yeah, it is my great opportunity to attend the conference. The conference for today is the International Circular Economy Trends and Business Strategy Seminar. And my name is Chai Guo. Today, I want to introduce the topic is SMEs are striving for sustainable development with the imprint of the circular economy in Taiwan. Before I present today's topic, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Chai Guo, and currently my current position is the professor and serves in the National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. I also conduct a director of the Sustainable Technology Management, and also I'm the committee in Taiwan for the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Administration. Today I present 4 topics for this lecture. The first lecture is about the challenge for the enterprise towards sustainability. The second topic is the circular economy, which is one of the sustainability paradigm. The third one, I will talk about why do you want to choose the enterprise in Taiwan and what is the opportunity in Taiwan. Finally, I will introduce some cases, which is the successful cases in Taiwan about the circular economy. Okay, let's talk about the challenge. So I know that right now, before the COVID-19, everybody consider about the big issue is the climate change. And when we consider about the climate change, the big problem is that how can we help the enterprise going to the sustainability. So there are several ways for us try to reduce the effect of climate change. The most popular idea is that we should try to reduce our temperature about 2 degrees Celsius. Based on the president, a lot of approach and show us how to do it. And however, currently as the temperature is higher than before, so there's another issue to talk about. We not only reduce the temperature to be 2 degrees, but also we need to reduce to be 1.5 degrees. So that is another pathway. We try to reduce the climate change problem and we try to solve the problem of the climate change. However, we know the problem like that one, but how can we help the enterprise towards sustainability? Before that one, we need to understand the definition of the sustainable development. So what is the sustainable development? Development, that means the needs of the present without compromise the ability of future generations to meet their own need. That is the definition from the textbook of Our Future, which is published in the year of 1987. So based on the definition, some approach talk about the sustainability should be defined as the integration of the social and the environment and the economy issue. Usually we will call this one will be triple bottom line. And based on the triple bottom line, some approach also talk about there are another 2 different approach for the triple bottom line. One is weak sustainability. The second one is the strong sustainability. The difference between these two triple bottom line is that some people argue the core issue for the sustainability of the environment, economy, and the society. The most important thing is that we should have an economy to be our base and to be our core problem and core competitiveness. So based on that one, the L. Clinton, they talk about, so we should have the circular economy. So circular economy is one of the sustainability paradigm. So what is the sustainability, what is the circular economy? So we can see circular economy is one archetype of the sustainable business model. So remember, so what is the circular economy? Circular economy is one kind of the business model which helps the enterprise toward the sustainability. So circular economy is very important related with the economic growth. And circular economy is one of the several options to foster our world to be sustainable of our system. So that is very important. We need to understand the circular economy first. Then circular economy also talk about the production and consumption system, which relies on the recycling, reuse, repair, remanufacturing, sharing of products, and the changing of the consumption patterns, and also the new business model and system. So I need to emphasize that circular economy not only talk about the circular system, but also how can we make a good business model to circulate our system. And the issues for the circular economy related to the sustainable resource management and also the society behavior change and how can we transform our business model. So based on this one, the 3 very important areas are the core area of the circular economy. So we just understand what is the definition of the sustainability and the circular economy. Now I want to promote Taiwan, and that means that I want to tell you why do you need to choose Taiwan? Why is Taiwan is good for us? So from the experience of COVID-19, we know that we control the COVID-19 very good well. So right now we are very free walk, and we have several activities are freely. So we don't have any limitation. And in the sustainability aspects, we also are very proud that Taiwan is very good in here. Based on the reports of the Business Sweden Taiwan, which is published in this year, it mentioned about Taiwan have several advantages. The first one is that for Taiwan, we have a sizable domestic market with higher purchasing power. The second one is that we are excellent test market or base for the further expansion in Asia. The third one is that Taiwan is one of the Asia's most attractive business environment. And the fourth one is how to large OEM and ODM with global footprint. And finally is the mature market in need of innovation and sophisticated technology. And basically Taiwan right now, we have a very big company such as TSMC and also like the other brand we have. And we also have a very strong supply chain, and we have a lot of SME manufacturing in Taiwan. So the Taiwan's global companies are ranked higher globally in terms of sustainability, especially within in the electronics and the financial sector, also for the textile. And from the GDP, the most important thing for the sustainability is that we try to decouple with the GDP and the daily waste volume clearage growth rate. See from the presentation from the flyer, you can see our GDP is increased, however, our waste is reduced. So that is the good phenomena in Taiwan. And actually, a lot of people in Taiwan, we have a good culture for the social environment and the economy, which is the sustainable behavior. And every people in Taiwan, we will have to collect the garbage very well. And also in Taiwan, several language in Taiwan we have, especially we have ESG or SDG, which means that a lot of enterprise, they will use the ESG and sustainable development to communicate with the people and the enterprise. So from here you can see what is the ESG. ESG is the governance, social and environment, and what is the UN SDGs 17 goals. Especially for the goal 12 is the responsible consumption and production. It highlights for the enterprise not only consider about the production, but also consider about the consumption. So here is the opportunity in 4 key areas in Taiwan. The first one is that can we have a renewable energy development in Taiwan? The second one is that how can we build a sustainable city development in Taiwan? And the third one is that how can we conduct a sustainable manufacturing and the supply chain? And finally, we should have a green transportation. I think this typical area is the good opportunity for the sustainability in Taiwan, and also for the big company and also for SME companies. In Taiwan, we not only we have a good sustainable behavior, but also for the enterprise in Taiwan, we have several innovation. I think that the most important and very famous in Taiwan for the innovation is the from waste to textile. There are 10 teams in FIFA 2014 played with recycled PET textile made in Taiwan. So Taiwan ranked #1 in the worldwide function fabric market in year of 2015, with global market share in recycling reaching about 50%. So circular economy is very good in Taiwan and easy in Taiwan because we have a good behavior, but also for the good innovation. Especially PET bottle and the coffee grounds are the material for the producing eco-friendly function fabrics. But since we have a very good opportunity in Taiwan, but consider about the sustainability and the circular economy. For the small and the medium-sized enterprise, they still feel very frustrated, and they feel it is very difficult to implement the circular economy. The first one is the culture problem, which means that the company culture and also the consumer interest and the awareness. The second challenge for the SME for the circular economy is about the technology, because the circular economy is really highly relied on the circular design. And some companies, they say we don't have the data and we don't know what's the impact of the products. The third challenge for the SME about the circular economy is the market, because right now the society is not mature for the circular economy, especially for the remanufactured products and also the recycled product. Finally, is about the regulatory. So far, since the circular economy is the new business model, there are a lot of registration and also the regulation, which is to support the circular economy. However, we still can find a very good successful cases in Taiwan. Here, I just imprint or illustrate 5 cases in Taiwan, which is about the plastic, umbrella, and for Hong'en. They collect and then they will, they design a easy disassemble umbrella, and also they provide the service. Once your umbrella is broken, you can send it back to the manufacturer for free, and then they can fix it, then send it back. So it maintains the umbrella to be long life, so you can use the umbrella very longer. The third company is SKP Pen. They used the recycled plastic and made it to be a new pen. So they collect from the material from the PET, and also from the second one is from the HIPS. So they try to collect all the plastics and then they regenerate it to be a new product which was used in pen. And there are several, when they consider about to recycle the PET bottle, they can reduce the carbon emission. So this is also, we can reduce the climate change problem. The fourth one is the UG paper. The UG paper, they develop a good machine which can reduce the usage of the ink, and also they use less toxic material for the ink. So it is good when we consider about recycling the ink, because it is non-toxic, so it is easy to be recycled and make the circular design system. Finally is the ProBrew. ProBrew is the diving company. They collect the plastic from the ocean and then they purify the plastic, and finally they make the plastic to be the sunglasses. Although right now it is not in the mass production, but they already show the technology. How can we recycle the end of life plastic and then they can regenerate to be a product? I think that these 5 companies, they are struggling to develop a new technology. And right now they have a big issue is that how can they expand their brand in the world. And I suggest you can contact with these 5 companies, and then you can know what is their ability for the circular economy. And also there's another one is the COVID-19 issues. I want to show that basically right now for the sustainability, it was interrupted by the COVID-19. So COVID-19 looks like it already changed our behavior change. And also COVID-19 also caused the supply chain disruption. And also the COVID-19 changed our globalization to be deglobalization. So they put, based on that one, we think about and we can understand the COVID-19 put a new constraint for our circular economy. So finally, I will suggest, based on COVID-19, and how can we solve the problem for the circular economy. The first suggestion is the collaboration. I strongly suggest to cooperate with your consumer or your supplier to make the circular economy. The third one is that you need to, the company should think about how can we have a recovery system for any climate change or any disease or any risk. I think that is very important, especially when we conduct the circular economy. Finally, is that since the COVID-19, we are absolute with our friends. So the digitalization is also very important if the company want to conduct the circular economy. So I strongly suggest you for the enterprise, when you conduct the circular economy after COVID-19, the collaboration, recovery system, and the digitalization is very important. I hope that my lecture is useful for you. Thank you for your watching this video. Thanks.
Okay, welcome back to the International Circular Economy and Business Strategy Seminar. 欢迎回到我们的循环经济趋势与品牌策略国际研讨会。And thanks for Dr. Guo's sharing. Now we have all the speakers and panelists ready online or on site, but we will take a 10 minutes break and get back to the studio. So while waiting, we will replay the video. The video we just saw at the beginning. It's a Taiwanese SMEs circular economy capability video. So see you in 10 minutes.
Do you know? The increasing of global waste generated is accelerating the destruction of the earth. What can we do to help the land under our feet, the ocean in front of us, and our next generation? How can we turn this waste in front of us into treasure? Many small and medium enterprises in Taiwan decided to go green, creating green products and lead to the new road of circular economy and sustainability. Moreover, the green miracle is actually in our daily lives. When it comes to the food containers that we use every day, GreenPad has created a PET material for environmentally friendly tableware. After the PET material reached the crystallization temperature, the construction will be completed and very strong. It can be drop-proof and high-temperature resistant, replacing the mamming tableware that we are doubting. It can be toxic-free, energy-saving, low carbon emission, and reduce waste of resources and be able to recycle. Besides, Good Life Design has made an environmentally friendly ceramic boutique with a philosophy of green and sustainable. Good Life Design insists that each tableware should be handmade. Turn remaining marble and stone into environmental friendly stone ceramic material, giving rebirth of marble waste stone powder in Hualien and make it into quality goods made in Taiwan. For clothing accessories, EcoMax Textile has created recycled products of waste fishing nets. After successfully challenged the recycling and drawing of the PET bottles, and turn them into towels, socks, clothes, and other products, EcoMax targets the large discarded fishing nets. They get on with the R&D and manufacture of waste fishing nets recycled fiber. Only after a long and complicated decontamination and desalination process can the discarded fishing nets enter the production line. In order to produce fine fibers, EcoMax altered the machine and created a very small mesh for yarn making. Hope to provide quality clothing and help to solve the serious marine environmental pollution problem. Blue International Corporation protects the environment of the ocean with its action. They converted the collected marine plastic waste into raw materials through technical operation and made into unique green products for the designers. Marine plastic waste could be turned into bags, and sunglasses, which give them a brand new life. In terms of home storage, China has been moving toward a green and sustainable direction. It has developed the technology of biomass material and tried to protect mountains and forests. In order to invest in the recycled materials, the charter sets up a material research and development unit. They invest wood flour, corn flour, bamboo flour into mixing PLA and heat-resistant CPLA for mass production and storage products. In the future, Charter plans to invest in research for the materials of shrimp and crab shells, local agricultural waste such as corn, pineapple shells, and white bamboo shoots. Hope to develop a brand new material. In terms of entertainment, Pulley Paper has created its environmentally friendly paper products. They developed a unique paper-making technology that mixed the farmer's rice husk with the paper pulp to make a storytelling material. In order to present the diversity of the paper products, Pulley Paper also incorporates the white bamboo shoots fiber, banana leaves, and forage into the paper pulp, which not only gives customers choices, but also brought the usage of the crop resources waste to the forefront. Wenmin Founder Pen adheres to the trend of environmental protection and sustainable development, conveys the new value of the 60-years-old brand through the creating of sustainable stationery. They introduced the styrofoam and waste plastic PET bottles collected from the seaside into the stationery, convert them into the new pen body. Wenmin Founder Pen also uses recycled paper pulp in the design of packaging cartons. From pen to the packaging, Wenmin Founder Pen shows the green and sustainable competitiveness of the brand. The SMEs in Taiwan continue to innovate their green thinking to alleviate waste and pollution problems. At the same time, it also pursues the environmental protection concept by reaching low carbon emission. Help to connect the awareness of different industries and consumers. We are all part of the earth. Implement the concept of circular economy and sustainable innovation into our lives. Strive to the win-win results of the economy, environmental protection, and society. Taiwan will be seen by the world.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the International Circular Economy Trends and Business Strategy Seminar. 欢迎回到我们的循环经济趋势与品牌策略研讨会。We have all our speakers panelists ready. We have Grail Ben and IKEA Linda online, and also on site we have Thomas Walk from Taiwan, and also Professor Taiji Guo from Taiwan University of Science and Technology. So I'll introduce again for every speaker quickly. So our first panelist, Ben Knappers, he's now located in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So it is 12 o'clock at night because of time difference. special thanks to Ben's full support. Ben, can you say something to us?
Yes, hello everyone. You can hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Great, perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Ben. And our second panelist, Linda Wong from IKEA North Asia. Linda, can you hear us?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Can you say it again?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. I can hear you. And how about you guys? Can you hear Linda?
Yes, we can hear.
Yeah.
Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay. And our third panelist, Thomas Wok from Decathlon Taiwan, is on site.
Hello.
Thomas, can you say something to us?
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Okay. And our local academic representative, Professor Caiji Guo. Hello, Professor.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, good morning.
Okay. It's a great opportunity and great honor to have everyone here or online. I believe after the speeches, we have some questions from our participants. 那借着这个机会，也很荣幸有大家的同聚一堂。好，那看完了这一些短讲之后，我们的听众其实有提出一些问题，那我们就一一来回复，尽量的可以一一的来回复。And the first question will go to Linda. 我们的听众的第一个问题是要问 Linda。What is the motivation that keeps IKEA follows through these targets? 是什么理由支持 IKEA 的集团去追随这样子的一个目标？那 Linda 听得清楚吗？
可以。可以。
这个问题还可以啊。
可以，有一点 lag。
好，那你尽量照你的步调。
好，我先回答是吗？
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a very good question because unlike Decathlon, we are very dependent on natural resources and we value our customers and clients very much. So people and planet positive is really the motivation to drive our sustainability agenda. And we know the limit of the natural resources around the globe, and we face the challenge of the shortage of raw material. So that's one of the fundamental motivation for us to move into 100% circular business. Another motivation is one of our ambitious goals to become climate positive. Like my video mentioned, that the majority of our carbon emissions comes from our raw material usage. So by adapting recycled material usage will reduce significant amount of greenhouse gas emissions for our value chain. So that's two major motivation for us to become a circular business. And I hope that will answer your question.
Okay, thank you, Linda. And there's a follow-up question from your answer. You mentioned the recycled material usage, right?
Yes.
And is there any requirements for the material purchasing? For example, do you need to have certain certification or other tests?
Okay, it's a very good question. When we talk about recycled material, that will be the variety of materials like plastic, or you mentioned wood, or bamboo, or metals like that. And we do have a strict code of conduct and our requirement for supplies when it comes to recycled material. And then I highly recommend that you contact our purchasing team, which is also located in Taichung, and they will have a very professional team will answer your question. For example, what kind of materials standards would you need in order to become our client. So I cannot give you a very generic answer for that question, but we do have a very severe standards for those required recycled material.
Okay, sure, I can imagine that. 第一个问题关于 Linda 的回复希望有得到我们这个听众的回答到我们听众的问题啊。And the second question is going to Thomas. 那第二个问题是针对我们迪卡侬台湾的 Thomas 这一边。When you facing an when you launching the supply chain management in sustainable development, is there any oppose from the suppliers?
I think
Hold on, I have to translate.
Okay.
那第二个问题就是针对迪卡侬这边，就是公司在推这个有序发展程序的时候，有没有供应商曾经有什么反弹过这样？Okay.
I think to answer your question, what you're asking really is, are there factories that disagree with our sustainable development policies? For example, if we were to go into a factory, give them the list of assessments that we do, the list of sustainable strategies that we have. Is there a factory, for example, that would say, no, they don't want to do that? In a case like that, for us, the key for our sustainable development strategies is willingness of the factories. Willingness as well as transparency. If there are problems reaching some of our sustainable development goals, then the factories that we're working with, they can openly tell us, and we can work together to find solutions to any of those problems. But the key always comes back to willingness. If the factory is, or a partner is not willing to follow the same strategies, then we need to find alternative partners.
Right, sure. 所以根据这个问题的回复基本上还是会有供应商会有持相反的意见但是其实供应链跟品牌商这边还是要透过充分的沟通才可以去解决这些意见的歧义。如果真的是道不同不相为谋的话，那也只能各自分配了。Okay, and I have a third question going to Ben. So people are asking, how do you evaluate the waste fishing net business before you start it? Which means, how do you know there's a profit behind this business? 第三个问题是要问 Rail 这边，就是他们在执行这个废渔网回收再制产品的时候，怎么知道这个背后其实有足够的获利去支撑他们做这些事情？ Okay, and can you hear me? Can you?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I think we definitely did go through a pretty rigorous business plan, and we're in a more than one startup incubator that helped us shape it. But I think rather than getting into the nitty-gritty, the detail, I think a key concept we focused on is upcycling. If you think about recycling, there's really actually three common types of recycling. Downcycling, which is taking a plastic that was once a product and actually creating it into a lower value product, something like a building material, a very basic component. Recycling would be taking that product and making it into the very same product again. And then the concept of upcycling is transforming it into something of higher value. So when we started out, we actually just had the novel idea of making funny enough, a skateboard deck. And what we connected with that, besides it being fairly feasible item to make from recycled plastic cruisers, was that you can take 1 kilogram of plastic waste, being fishing nets, and now by transforming into upcycling it into a skateboard deck, it's now worth well over $100. And so that was an opportunity to do something of higher value. What we've grown to now is aligning with many other companies that make high value products where they can replace the virgin plastic with our recycled material, which again continues with that same added value that we can incorporate with our plastic for those companies as well as for our business. And so far it's worked.
Excellent. And 从 Ben 的这边回答，我们大概可以知道说，它的关键因素在于向上回收，就是 upcycling 这个循环经济里面的一个比较高阶的回收。那它可以把这个废弃的物料做成比较高端的产品。那高端产品一般就会有比较高的售价，那高的售价就会有利润去支撑他们去做这样的事情，这样的一个废弃物的循环。Okay, thanks, Ben. And I have another question to Professor Guo. The question says, you have been working on sustainable design of products for a long time, and is there any environmental benefit from the sustainable design or green design? 那对于郭教授的话，有个问题就是，在绿色设计或者永续化的设计的产品有什么样子的环境效益 ？Dr. Guo.
Okay, very good question for that one. A lot of enterprise will argue, is there any benefit for them to design for the green design product or environmental design product? Can they make profit not only in the economy but also for the environment? Yeah, actually, this problem is a kind of trade-off. If you want to design the green product, probably you need to put the resource to get some innovative idea for the green product. However, the trade-off is that if you didn't do it, probably you cannot fulfill the requirements or regulation for the national regulation. Or maybe right now in Taiwan, I think our public already have the environmental awareness. For example, people, they already know not to use the plastics. They also understand the importance for recycling. So yeah, in the previous 10 years, probably the green product is not so welcome for the market. However, right now, I think that people in Taiwan and also for the international world, we all already understand the importance for the green product or environmental product. So I think that is a good trend for the enterprise to put their resource to conduct the green product. Yeah, I think that is a very good opportunity right now, especially the climate change problem. Yeah,
thanks, Dr. Guo. And 所以基本上产品的绿色或者永续的设计，除了对环境的效益以外，以现在的环境趋势来说，10年前这个市场可能并不是特别注重这样子的一个要素，但是10年后的现在是一个非常好的机会，因为我们在国际公约的要求跟法规上面的限制其实都越来越严格，所以你如果有导入这个绿色设计、永续设计的话，其实对自己的发展是一个比较大的好处的，跟得上这个潮流。And okay, next question, we're going back to Linda. We have audience ask. I have a question to Linda. Thank you for sharing. The refurbished function in IKEA would only be for IKEA's furniture, or furniture of any brand could enjoy this service. 好，那基本上这个问题是要可能是台湾人问的因为我们知道 IKEA 在台湾有推出一个租赁代替购买的一个服务那这个听众可能就是需要说，知道这个是只限于 IKEA 的家具吗？ And Linda, could you hear my question clearly?
Yes, very clear. Do you want me to answer this question in Chinese or English? Since the question is brought up by a Taiwanese, right? I think.
We written in English, so I believe the participants, he or she will understand, and I can translate.
Okay, no problem.
The refurbishment center we are going to set up is only for IKEA furniture. I'm sorry to inform you that because so far the plan is to refurbish all the furniture we have been leased out. So and we don't refurbish any kind of furniture. We just only refurbish certain kind of furniture that is used for circular leasing business model. And now we are still looking for our potential suppliers. And now we are testing some potential suppliers capacity for the refurbishment. So probably all the setup will be finished before the end of 2020. So I don't know whether among our guests, do you have any capacity of refurbishment? If you have, please contact with me. I will discuss with you for further collaboration.
Thanks, Lisa. 那基本上IKEA 在台湾推出这个以租代买的服务，就是体现IKEA 自己的自有品牌的家具。那我如果没听错，刚刚是说有80种嘛？Is it right？
我的意思是，我们的这个翻新中心呢，目前只会修缮 IKEA 的产品。那这个产品怎么来的呢？应该都是由我们曾经租出去的产品。就是未来我们的 business model 会是我租一批产品给我的客人，那这个客人在租期结束之后，我们会把它收回来，送进翻新中心做修缮。那这个翻新中心它不是修所有的产品，我们应该会是修缮特定几种产品。那几种产品呢，是专门 for 这个租赁使用的，所以基本上来说都会是 IKEA 的产品。
Okay, thanks for the and let's go moving on to next question. To Thomas. Here's a question from the audience. What's the position for Taiwanese supplier to Decathlon? So, which means what's the contribution of Taiwanese company to Decathlon's product? Yeah, right. Just forgot. 那下一个问题是问说，台湾的供应链在迪卡侬集团里面的定位，或者是对于他们产品线的贡献，大概是什么样的情况？就我的理解，就是台湾目前的产业有什么是可以符合迪卡侬的产品线的期待？
If I understand the question correctly, you're asking about our supply chain in Taiwan and what kind of products we provide for our global supply chain. One of Taiwan's biggest contributors is for bicycles, but not whole bicycles, components of bicycles. A lot of different parts of our whole bicycles are made here in Taiwan and then exported to other countries for assembly. So Taiwan, basically, we have about a 50-50 range between finished goods, which we sell worldwide, and components. Besides bicycle components, we also make textile components, which get exported to other countries for also assembly into clothing, assembly into shoes. We do footwear, textiles, and other parts of finished clothing. So components make up a big part of what we do. But for finished goods, for example, some finished goods that Taiwan has a big share of are golf balls. Other like punching bags, quite a few injection molded parts, and bicycle components. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. Very good. And 所以基本上迪卡侬在台湾的供应链其实着重在几个领域。第一个是自行车的部分，不过不是整车，是零部件的部分。那第二个是在于纺织品，一些机能性的布料，反而不是纺织成品。然后再来就是在高尔夫球这个产品，射出的产品。那还有一个比较特别的是那个沙袋 punching bag， yes， 沙袋的这些产品。那目前的合作大概是这样子。And the next question goes to Ben. So here's the question: What is the biggest challenge to promote waste efficient recycling business model? 那再一个问题是要给 Grill 的 Ben 是说，做这个废弃渔网的回收的循环模式的时候，最大的挑战是什么？
Yeah, I mean, we have so many challenges every day, especially this year. Many fun challenges. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, happy to report our teams on the ground are all safe and well. We did have to close for a couple months to just be fully preventative of any serious incidents to happen, and now we're slowly returning with a lot of increased measures. But I'd say the main thing would be really just creating an entirely new supply chain from scratch. When we approached fishing communities and fisheries in South America, this was completely unheard of. I mean, I think they probably thought my Spanish, which is not great, was probably really bad. To try to explain to them this crazy concept of taking their fishnet waste and making a skateboard out of it is quite strange. So creating that entire supply chain from the relationships with the fishermen to convince them and educate them of this positive solution that we could offer, to then put in place all the logistics and efforts involved to source those nets, sort those nets, clean those nets, and get them transformed. Was by far, I think, our biggest challenge, and we're continuing to work on that every day as we continue to scale.
Did you say something? It's still online.
Nope. Yeah, I stopped there because I know you have to translate all of this, Damon. So,
thank you for the consideration. 那 Bro 这边的回应基本上是。挑战的话，其实无时无刻都在面临这些挑战的。从包括一开始的语言，因为他是在南美洲执行这个事情的，那其实他本身是美国人，所以西班牙语这是一个很大的挑战。好，那再来就是如何去教育我们当地的渔民这些初阶基层的这些回收者，让他们知道说，背后其实有这样的一个效益的。这个部分其实他们也花了蛮多的。建立在这个沟通上面，那再来就是后面的这些资产推动嘛，And I think your story is very inspiring, and especially this is what we need in this difficult, complicated situation of ocean waste.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully the whole idea is to hopefully inspire others as well.
Right. 所以 Ben 的这个废网回收的故事其实蛮成功，也具有蛮多的启发性的哈。对我们现在的海废议题来说，就是正是时候。And one more question for Dr. Fu. Here's a question. We already have recycled and sustainable merchandise. Is there any national channel or platform that assist us for marketing? And follow-up question. Is there any support from the government or the resource that we produce? 那接下来给郭教授的一个问题就是说，我们公司的产品其实都已经有永续发展的设计基准。那请问我们可以利用哪些资源去做行销，国际的行销，或者是台湾的政府这边有没有什么资源可以让我们去运用？
Okay, thanks for the good question. Yeah, this problem is not quite easy to answer because I'm not a government officer. However, from my observation for the past 5 years, I think so far there is no integrated platform for the enterprise to promote their product for the circular economy. However, the enterprise, they will use their personal platform, such as like they will attend the exhibition. So far, there are many eco-product exhibition, or maybe sustainable exhibition, or maybe there are several organizations they already claim. But for me, I think that the good way is that the company can recommend themselves to the green or to the bigger company such as IKEA, Decathlon, and they can sell to those companies who already have a sustainable strategy in their business. The second problem is that so far our government in Taiwan, there is no integrated platform. However, as I mentioned in the lecture, there is the problem for the culture, technology, and marketing, and also the regulation. So far in Taiwan, the Ministry of Education, they try to educate our public for the sustainable technology education. Also for the Bureau of SME and the Bureau of Industry, they already provided the financial support for the technology improvement. Also for the Foreign Affairs Bureau, they also have some good plan to take our company to go out of Taiwan to sell the product. I think that so far, the sustainable development is already the common language, not only in Taiwan, but also for the international. So as I mentioned again, that is a good opportunity for the enterprise. They can promote their sustainable product for the international market.
好，那thanks Dr. 郭。那郭老师这边的回复啊，基本上因为他不是政府单位的官员，所以也没有办法真的很充分的在这边提供说具体的资料。可是其实在台湾的中小企业处或者是工业局，乃至于国贸局，其实都有相应的一些资源可以去支援在地的公司去做一些提升跟这个国际的一个曝光。那除此之外呢，教授再重申一次他的论点啊，就是在永续的发展这个观点上，它本身就是一个国际语言，所以如果你已经朝着这个永续发展的策略去执行的话，那其实应该是很容易可以跟国际去接轨的，就是勉励台湾的企业。And next question, I think it's okay for Thomas and Linda, because I think it's almost the same. So people asking, is there any guideline for those who want to become your supply chain members? So is there any data that we can acquire and follow easily? Hence we could intensify our related policies. 所以接下来的问题就是在 IKEA 或者是迪卡侬其实都适用的。那我们待会可能先请Thomas 帮我们回复迪卡侬是不是有可以参考的规范，让有意成为公益章成员的厂商参考？那如何加强参考之后，就是加强我们自己的去发展规划
Good question. The transition plan for our sustainability goals for the next 6 years is public. So it's easy for factories and for partners who wish to work with Decathlon to go onto the sustainability website we have to get the transition plan and to read about our goals moving forward. For example, goals of renewable energy. We're looking to encourage our partner factories to use renewable energy. CO2 emissions reductions, that's also an important goal for us. And then just the schedule of assessments, as well as our design and circular economy goals. All of these are public and easy to find. And if partners wish to work with us, it's a good idea to take a look so that they can know what to expect when we start our collaboration.
所以就像迪卡侬这边，他们其实有他们公开的一个供应商的一个管理策略嘛，包括从这个能源的使用啊，然后温室气体的排放啊，那基本上他们还是会有一个专业的这个采购团队会去做供应商的这个管理结合验证，基本上合作到大概是从这个地方开始。And the same question, Linda, should I repeat the question or you can just answer it?
It's a very good question. We do have a code of conduct for the suppliers, which is also the requirement for you to become our supplier. The code of conduct we code as I-Way, IKEA Way. And I-Way probably is the most strict and very high standard one of the guidelines in the world. So it covers like labor safety and the human rights of the labor and your environmental impact. And moreover, to that, we also covered economic animal welfare if you are one of the food producers. So we do have a very quite severe standard for these suppliers' requirement. So, but this information is not public. So if you are interested in becoming our suppliers, I will highly recommend that you contact me. And then I will transfer your information to our purchasing team. Like I mentioned, it's located in Taichung. And I want to share some information from our purchasing team as well, that they are looking for suppliers which has a very innovative material appliance, such as plant-based plastic or a new technology to have a better material that will be very interested in. And also, if you have a better supply chain management, such as like you have low carbon transportation appliance, or you have innovative solution for your logistic management, you are also welcome to approaching us. So I think that's my answer, and I hope that will cover your question.
有明白。那基本上在 IKEA 他们也有他们的供应商规范，叫做 I-Way。那所有的这些供应商的要求等等的，大家都可以在这个 I-Way 里面对之一二。那因为时间关系，我就没有办法真的很详细的在这边做个传达翻译这样子。那we have only 2 minutes left for this discussion. Actually, I have like 10 more questions, and we couldn't finish it. Maybe we can have a little discussion afterward and send it in like an email data or something. And we will have a survey after this event, end of this event. So finish this survey and you will acquire more information and also a link about the recording video for today, or if you want to take a review on it. So I'll make a conclusion here. We all know that circular economy is an international trend. So brand name giants like a Decathlon, like a IKEA, and many other big companies, they are following this concept and going to manage their supply chain to do the same. So Taiwanese SMEs, as Professor Guo says, we have some difficulties, but we also have some opportunities and advantages. We can work together and to make the world better. So in here, I would like to thank all the participants for these overwhelming questions. Although we can't answer everything during this discussion, but we just want to show everybody that if we don't change our way of life, the linear economy will soon lead in the destruction of the planet Earth. Circular economy may not be a perfect way to solve this problem to save our planet, but maybe it's the only way that we can rely on nowadays. 循环经济它在现行的趋势当中，虽然不一定是最完美、最好的对环境的方式，但是它可能是我们目前唯一比较可靠，可以去拯救我们地球的一个方式。So lastly, PIDC will have another circular economy webinar on September 15th. 就在9月15号的时候，我们会有另外一场的循环经济线上研讨会 ，and it's about sustainable business model. So stay tuned with us for more information. And we thank you and wish to see you soon. 那最后呢， 在9月16号这个研讨会，也欢迎各位的积极的参与。And we like to thank all the panelists and all the participants. So thank you, Ben. You can
My
go
pleasure.
now.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Thomas. Thank you. And Professor Guo. Okay. It's the end
Thank
of
you
the
all.
seminar. Thank you, everybody. See you.
Thank you.